Welcome back. It is the Chinese New Year, which is being celebrated across the globe, with Gauteng's mass event taking place at the Nan Hua Temple in Bronkhorstspruit. This year's celebrations come after a 2-year break due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and I do believe it is the year of the rabbit. Indeed, there it is on your screen. Ahmed Kajee is there and joins me now with some details. Ahmed, I was saying to you, my Mandarin is limited, but ni hao, and tell us what's happening out there in Bronkhorstspruit at the temple.
Yes, indeed. Thanks very much, Erin. Lots of celebrations coming out here in the north of Gauteng. Blistering heat, as one would normally expect. Many people actually coming out from different racial groups, different cultural groups to come and celebrate and enjoy the festivities taking place here at the temple in Bronkhorstspruit. Like we said, exceptionally hot, but people can come through right through until around 2 and 3 p.m. when things will eventually wrap up. But what we are seeing, many people coming through to visit the main temple with the different idols across the 2 main temple rooms here as well. People can also come through and learn a lot about the cultural aspects of the Chinese culture, Mandarin classes, and also have food. It's a big uniting factor which comes through for the Chinese community and for everyone, South Africans in general. We do love our food on that front as well. In terms of the Year of the Rabbit, the meaning behind this is actually around gentleness and compassion. We had spoken to a few of the senior members over here at the temple. They say that gentleness and compassion is exceptionally important following 3 years after a devastating impact and just the overall challenges which are facing the globe at the moment. We just stop and think about the Russia-Ukraine conflict and various other conflicts in and around the African continent as well. Gentleness and compassion is really needed in the global scale as well. But one of the younger people who actually are here as well, which just shows the level of community engagement coming through across racial and diversified groups. It's actually a young man, just 13 years old, joining us right now. Mr. Barak, thanks very much for your time. Hopefully you'll be the next president as well. But just take us through why exactly you are here and how excited you are.
I'm here because my father works here and he's taught me lots of the Buddhism. From what he's taught me, the peace and the karma and everything. And the Chinese people really know me, the masters we call them. So they really taught me and really helped me through my life so far. They've taught me life lessons and how to be good to people. So I just come here since I was a young man. So I used to come here every time. So just to show my appreciation, I come and give them some money sometimes, and just to show my appreciation, I would just like to say thank you.
How excited are you at seeing different racial groups coming through to celebrate the Chinese New Year?
I'm really happy because lots of people, well, the Buddhism don't really do racism. They're not racist, if I can say it like that. And that's why you can see lots of racism. How do you say it? But like lots of races. So they help lots of races, black people, white people, even Chinese, Asians. So I'm really excited to see lots of races and I'm proud for what they've done.
Barak, thank you very much for your time. I'm sure you'll be enjoying the celebrations. So there you have it, Erin. Just a big part of the communities coming out. And maybe just to ask my colleague Leanda to just pan up to the right of your shot. That's one of the main temples where many people are going in through to just pay their respects to the idols who would be in that particular area, carrying out their respective Chinese New Year celebrations and different rituals as well. And for those who may not be celebrating but just coming through to observe the festivities, many are actually just coming through to see what the Chinese culture is all about, engaging in some Chinese food, learning, and perhaps just soaking in all the excitement. I think one will obviously always understand that we still are coming out of the COVID-19 pandemic, so after 2 years of not having these celebrations, many people would just like to come in and just soak everything in as we head into the new year, not just for the Chinese New Year, but for many people who are also back to work, back to school as well. And perhaps some of of the matriculants coming through to carry out their celebrations as well after last week's results. Erin.
Ahmed, I believe that for Guangshan, the Buddhist movement behind this temple in South Africa also has temples in Malawi, Tanzania and Congo. I did see a rabbit up there on the stairs behind you just moments ago. This is obviously about culture. It's about, Buddhist sort of philosophy, you could say, based on what we heard from your guest. But it comes at an interesting time. We know that those Chinese war boats or is it war boat, there are going to be war games, as it were, between South Africa, Russia and China soon enough. Any sign of diplomats, any sign of members of the Chinese sort of diplomatic corps or bilateral talks going on the sidelines of this cultural event?
Nothing as we said, nothing that we had seen since this morning at least. As you say, the Chinese community is very close-knit here in South Africa. And South Africa's bilateral relations have been strong throughout as well. In the east of Johannesburg, actually out in Cyril Dean, one of the major Chinatown spots in Gauteng and in South Africa as well. You'll see many of the consulates and many of the officials actually getting together over there as well. Bronkhorstspruit, as much as this temple is where many of the people are coming through for the celebrations. Some of the officials we had spoken to earlier say that their offices are based out in Cyril Dean, so perhaps their satellite offices take place over there. Some of their worshipping and some of their cultural activities do take place on that front as well. But perhaps having an event such as this one in South Africa and this large just goes to show that, the South African and Chinese bilateral relations also go towards the cultural acceptances and tolerances as well. And perhaps that's just a big part of what South Africa's culture is, just to show that, various cultures, various religious groups, various racial groups actually come through to carry out their celebrations, whether it be the Chinese community, perhaps the Muslim community, the Jewish community, the Hindu communities, and the Christian communities, and various others do actually come through to carry out their celebrations. So speaking about not just the bilateral relations and the bilateral acceptances, perhaps religious tolerance is something that we see in South Africa, and this is just one example of it. Erin.
Thank you for that. It's almost lunchtime, so perhaps you should head off and see if you could find something to quench your thirst and something to eat as well with the team out there in Bronkhorstspruit. Do stay with us. We'll have